Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a Memorial Day Grand Solar Minimum update. Saturday, May 26th, 10:32 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the Volcano YT backup number 4 multi-screen. And I got to give a big thumbs up to these guys for keeping this live stream coverage up at all costs. What you're looking at in the top left corner is a triple view of Sakurajima, which is now erupting for the 20th consecutive day in a spectacular fashion. Another explosion just happened 12 hours ago. Below that is the main caldera in Kilauea, as in the small box, as well as the eastern rift zone, where you can clearly see fog and laze haze over the entire southeastern portion of the island. And the seismicity in the center, ongoing, nonstop, hundreds of earthquakes today, one of the biggest earthquake days since the eruption began. Shimodake smoking, Sinabung, slight smoke. We could see the lava emanating right below the caldera topping Popo. And Yellowstone is geysering as normal. So I want to give a big thumbs up to Volcano YT and all the hard work they've been doing, backing it up as they get taken down time and time again. So come over here. I'll leave you links to Volcano YT Backup 4. Give them a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell them Diamond sent you. We'll be back to this. So let's move it up a little here so we can get some live coverage as we move. Let's get on with the update. 358 fires, 80% contained. The winds died down today. That was what it looked like earlier today, just a few dozen miles west of here. Now, luckily, Mother Nature cooperated, and the federal team took over command. Evacuation and pre-evacuation remain in effect, but now firefighters made progress on the 358 fire as of 6:45 p.m. Saturday. The fire was 80% contained. And all is well, except for the 23 people that lost their homes near the Vallecito Lake area. Send a prayer up for them. Snow possible for Port Hills as Christchurch faces chilly start of the week. Heads up, Snowbow. This much snow is not likely on Sunday night, but the top of the Port Hills could be in for a dusting. Christchurch residents may wake up to a sprinkling of snow in the Port Hills on Monday. Met Service meteorologist April Clark said there was a chance of a dusting on the tops, which could start from late afternoon on Sunday, but was more likely overnight on Monday. Met Service has issued snow warnings for a number of roads in New Zealand. Overnight tonight, the Crown Range Road. Light snow is likely to 900 meters. Old Milford Road. Occasional snow showers are possible down to 800 meters overnight tonight. Tomorrow night, snow forecast for the Desert Road down 700 meters, and from later in the afternoon tomorrow overnight until Monday morning, Lewis Pass will experience the snow down to 500 meters and Portals Pass down to 600 meters. That's my New Zealand. Snowfall hits Tinashan Mountain in Hami. We reported on the tulips and the snow. This is another event in a different area. Can you say Grand Solar Minimum much? They're certainly saying it in China, and that's because right at this point in time at the black vertical line, in the last 4 interglacial periods, this is the last 100,000 years, the temperature cooled dramatically over the next decade, up to 2 to 3 degrees C. Now, if you know about Occam's razor, what do you think is about to happen? Certainly not global warming, I assure you. Sheep graze in the Tianshan grassland in Hamai, Northwest China, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, May 25th, 2018. Snowfall hit the Tianshan Mountains on the 24th. We saw the tulips and the snow. Heads up. More wonderful Grand Solar Minimum reporting. Have you heard about Tropical Cyclone Manuku? Slams into Oman as the strongest in recorded history. Wait, what? Dumps nearly 3 years worth of rain in one day. Is that written? Could it be, wait a minute. What are the cosmic rays? Oh, yeah. They're at the second all-time high ever in recorded history, and we're headed into a new level of cosmic ray insanity where this is just the beginning. Guys, read this. Tropical cyclone Mekunu slams into Oman as the strongest in recorded history, dumps nearly 3 years worth of rain in one day. This is the most fluxed we've seen it in the last year. We've only started this channel 11 months ago. 11 months ago next week. So we've only been on the air for 10 months and 3 weeks. And this is the most cosmic ray effect we've seen as far as cloud nucleation, atmospheric river, and 3 years worth of rain in one day. Now, Tropical Cyclone Mekunu slammed into Oman at 20 UTC Friday, May 25th as a first Category 3 hurricane equivalent to hit the region in recorded history. The first in recorded history to hit the region. The storm dumped nearly 3 years worth of rain in landfall area and left 5 dead and 30 missing. And we're about to talk about the Gulf Coast shortly. Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama brace for subtropical storm Alberto as the cosmic rays are on the rise with states of emergency in effect, thankfully. Heads up, fellas, down there. We reported on this and predicted it 16 days ago to the hour. Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi are preparing for states of emergency as subtropical storm Alberto is turning into a Category 1 hurricane as I'm making the video, and it heads towards the Gulf of Mexico. Ground zero is right between Pensacola. Well, actually, it's Walton Beach. There's my prediction. Walton Beach is ground zero for the eye of this storm, which is going to make landfall at midnight, Monday into Tuesday morning, with sustained winds of 89 miles per hour in Walton Beach. So if you're there, please prepare and get out. If you're on one of those coastal islands, do not stay. Move inland. Florida Governor Rick Scott issued declaration for all 67 counties in his state. Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant authorized the use of the National Guard, his office said in a statement. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey issued a state of emergency for 40 counties that will go into effect 6 a.m. Sunday, according to a statement from her office. Ivey activated the state's Emergency Operations Center in Clanton. The statement said the Alabama National Guard also activated its high water evacuations team. Good work. We're going to be watching this closely as it unfolds. It's looking now, the GFS model is putting this at 977 millibars Cat 2 as it makes landfall at Walton Beach, which is going to be torrential rain for the entire panhandle in all of Mississippi and Alabama. Heads up, Georgia. So this is just going to be developing Monday morning. So it should be forming a Cat 1 sometime between Sunday and Monday. This will become a hurricane. It will become Hurricane Alberto as it sits over that warm Gulf water. It is going to rapidly intensify. This is bombogenesis at its finest, dropping 20 millibars in 24 hours and hitting Walton Beach. Ground zero, Cat 2, 90 mile an hour winds, 90 to 100 on Monday, midnight, Tuesday morning. Heads up, Walton Beach. If you know anyone in that region, get in touch and tell them to get out. Here's the map we're talking about. So luckily, where this baby is going to make landfall is Eglin Air Force Base. That is going to take the brunt of the storm. If you're on any of these islands here, Pensacola, East, Panama City, West, get out. If anyone is in Mobile Bay, I wouldn't stay. But this is where the eye is forecast currently, and this is where I believe it's going to hit here. Walton Beach is right in this region. It's going to come right up into this inlet and destroy Eglin Air Force Base. Bye-bye, base. Quick seismic update. There is no quakes of note that we're looking at currently. We do see a uptick on the west coast here, with several 3 magnitude quakes hitting the west coast of the U.S. 3.3 in Pinos. We have a 3.1 in Anza, stacked over another 3.1 in Anza. Standard frac quakes in Oki. And let's talk about Hawaii totally getting devastated. Over 23,000 acres missing under lava. In just the past 24 hours, there have been between 250 and 270 earthquakes at Kilauea Summit, with 4 explosions on Saturday, sending ash to altitudes as high as 2.25 miles, said Stovall, a National Weather Service meteorologist John Bravender. Winds are set to shift Monday and Tuesday, causing higher concentrations of ash and fog will spread west and northwest and affect more populated areas. And this is what they were worried about. The U.S. Marine Corps and National Guard helicopters are on standby for air evacuations in the event fissure activity cuts off Highway 130. This is the last exit route for over 1,000 coastal residents. Worldwide volcano news update. Dukono, Kilauea, Sakurajima, Sabancaya. Dukono, continuous volcanic ash. Sakurajima exploded again and again and again and again and again. And here we are again, and we'll take a look at it again. There it is, exploding again. Volcanoes, these exploding. Check out Kilauea's. Look at what's happening here live. This is not good. I don't know what that is. This is a massive flare-up happening live, and we are witnessing it. Take a look at it happening here in the Eastern Rift Zone. My goodness, I don't know what that is. But this is not over, kids. Let's move this forward and see what we can get on this screen. Take a look at that glow. Oh no. Hopefully that's the sunset coming through there. Because we're live now. We have extreme seismicity and there's lots of things glowing there. So hopefully that's the sunset. But please come and check this out later and see what's going on over at Kilauea. Give them some support there on the island, because the stuff is hitting the fan. Here we are at Oulu Neutron Monitor. This monitors cosmic rays. You can see we're going up, up, up live data, straight up. So we should have lots of eruptive activity in the next 6 to 12 hours worldwide. We can see we've been moving up over the last 12 hours. Cosmic rays have been going up. You can see how high they were for most of the last 30 days. That's most of the Kilauea activity being exacerbated by the cosmic ray flux here. It came down and quieted down for a bit, but now we're going back up, kids. That's a cosmic ray flux. Boom! Heads up. We'll get to that. There are you starving. There are the governments lying to you. And there are the pigs feeding. Sweden distributes "Be Prepared for War" leaflet to all 4.8 million homes. Defense pamphlet shows how population can prepare in event of attack and contribute to the country's total defense. I suggest you look at this pamphlet. It is amazing. The only problem, Jagar Svenska, the Swedish government has begun sending all 4.8 million of the country's household a public information leaflet telling the population for the first time in more than 50 years what to do when Donald Trump causes a nuclear war. You should be ready too. Guys, in the past, we have witnessed things. When cosmogenic effects affect the climate in massive ways, changes occur. and we're at one of those major change times. The last four interglacials, this particular period here is a very specific particular period. It's a time when the magnetic excursion occurs. This is not necessarily a pole shift, but it certainly helps exacerbate the weather and the drop off in the total solar irradiance in the sun. Thanks to the Milankovitch cycles, the precession of the equinoxes, and the obliquity, we are on one of the most unique drops which has been recorded for the last four interglacials occurring simultaneously at the same exact time, except for right here where it happened a little earlier. But on these other three events, the temperature on the planet dropped over 2 degrees C in less than 100 years. And that's where we're living right now. It leads to crop loss, the end of the empire, famine, global unrest. Here's the end of the Vikings. Here's the end of the Romans. Here is the end of the Minoans, all after the spikes where they prospered in the warm. And here's the end of your empire. And you're in it, living it. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance. As the magnetosphere wanes, cosmogenic effects are going to create atmospheric disturbances that ancient man saw in the past. Squatter man, which is deciphered in petroglyphs as the mother of all animals, is actually Anthony Peratt's instability. The Peratt instability is a plasma discharge feature which occurs when plasma forms a particular pattern, which can be seen in the night sky. Here is the North Pole. This is the polar configuration coming from David Talbot. And this is the mother of all animals, which is the Peratt instability. Seen in the north as soon as the sun set, it must have been captivating as well as terrifying. There's your God. And he's coming back in the form of a plasma discharge. Let's do a little science. Here's the conceptual process model that I've been talking about interglacial warm periods. So this is what I just showed you, the last four interglacials, and we're going to get into the next. We're going to actually look at the last 6 interglacials so I can drive this home. You all know about the Younger Dryas event. It's right here. There are astronomical increases and the sea level rises 400 feet. And then for 8,000 years, it's all calm and warm. But each of these peaks and valleys is where empires rise and fall. Time immemorial. And then at some point called today, Milankovitch cycle kicks in and we get dropped off into major glacial period for 60,000 years. In the case of this precessional cycle, it's just 16,000 more years, and we'll warm up a little bit. So for the next 16,000 years, temperature on Earth is going to drop and drop and drop. In the next 10,000 years, it's going to hit bottom. But what does that, why do you care? You should care because you happen to be living at the cusp of the event. This particular grand solar minimum, one of these jagged spikes that we're falling off of, is the most pronounced in all the last 4 interglacials, as corroborated by this direct comparison of the past 4 interglacials periods graph. This is via ice core temperature reconstructions. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Because we can add 2 more interglacials. So the dark black spot is the current warming we're experiencing. Here's global warming. Here's the Vikings, Romans, the Minoans. They all got destroyed on the downs. Down, dead. Minoans gone. Romans missing. Vikings eliminated. Current empire gone in the next 100 years. Occam's razor. Here's the gray zone. The gray zone is the last 150,000 years, the last 6 interglacials. And there's only one place, based on logic, we are going. And for the next 16,000 years, that is down, 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 until sea level rises 400 feet again. 11,500 years from now. The jig is up. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in the times we're going into. These eyes realize. If you don't know about Occupy, if you don't know about the march against Monsanto, if you don't know about the march against corruption, then you're just a beginner. If you're just delving into the nonsense of global warming and you're wondering why the data does not meet the predictions, we're giving you clear, concise information. We are funded by no one. My knowledge is deep. It stems from academia. I have nothing to gain from this. This is my mission on Earth. I was a great teacher at Temple University, and now I'm a great teacher to the world. Everyone needs to know the truth. And the truth is easy to figure out. You can go cross-check all of my information. As scientists come out of the closet and the woodwork and join us on our radio show one at a time, more and more people, their eyes are going to open up because it is going to rapidly be changing the world around you in the months to come. And if you've been watching our show, you've been witnessing it. I hope you got something out of the program. Share this with like-minded people. Time is wasting. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. We love you. Be safe, everyone.